Oh. Oh. Well, I'm back on planet Earth. That was funky.
You didn't miss anything?
I didn't miss anything.
Apart from Patch.
Apart from someone suiciding, it's got to become the norm here in this patch. You know, come in and throw your spells, kill yourself, and repeat. It's the standard here in 6.88. Up the top, MSS and Faith. Hammer to the back. Hammer versus Club. Looks like MSS has got the more upgrades on his item. As he will be able to beat the Ogre back to his lane. Bottom lane, Rose making a bit of a go here. In fact, now he's coming in as well. Only level 1, but that's going to allow him to get a fair bit of punch in with the right click.
Yep,
with that Lunar Aura.
He's going to get some help from Kaka right now. I like the way they are actually helping out the lanes with the Io right now. He knows that Medusa is going to need some help in the first few waves, and he was there in the mid lane first, and then right now he's there in the bottom lane to get KP to that all-important level 2 as Bad Rider. You need to get that level 2, so if you can't lane, you at least have the option open for you to jungle. But right now, they're putting a lot of pressure on the lane. There's a crit wave coming in. See if they can actually try to make a move with the Bad Rider with level 2 here.
Yeah, they're kind of toying with the idea, just starting to try and get the napalm stacked up onto Aoi. I'm going to get a couple of stacks. That'll be the initial disruption from Rose to hold back KP, but he moves on forward. Didn't manage to continue the chain there with the third stack of napalm. Aoi in a lot of trouble as the Firefly from KP is starting to melt down upon the Luna. He'll pop the stick charges, trying to keep himself alive. It's not going to be enough, and in fact, Rose in trouble as well as KP and Kaka teaming up on this bottom lane. Beautifully done, and they should be able to secure a second, and indeed they do. Double kill for KP. Kaka tethers across, he's back to safety as well, and that was just absolutely perfect. They did that incredibly well, to the extent that MP just didn't know what to do against that sort of a play. It was flawless.
They were dead at that point when there was such a big crit wave coming in with the Bad Rider and Io together. There was nothing they could have done there.
Oh.
3 out of 3 hooks missed so far from SVG.
Get the missed hooks out of the way first. That's the strat here, really. You save the good hooks for when it counts later on. Just, doesn't want to use up all his skill at the start.
I mean, right now, Newbee with that 2 kills on the bottom lane is going to be super happy about the early game. And Draw Ranger still farming well, despite the dual lanes that MP is doing. 13 last hits so far, and Luna's on 6. So Newbee getting much of the better trade the early game.
The mid lane though, MV 14 for 4 against SCCC's 9 for 1. He has got the lead, but I guess this kind of a difference is, as you said, expected between these two heroes. Yep. This is what you expect to see.
Razor is a hero you pick to win the lane.
Yeah.
Like Medusa is kind of okay being behind because Razor has an expiration date where if the game goes too long, the hero doesn't offer as much as a Medusa. You really want to use the hero to pressure towers and push with the Omni Knight early. So we might see like maybe an Aghanim's build on the Razor to pressure towers if they actually get a good momentum in the game to push down towers. But if the game goes late, Medusa is going to be a huge problem for them. And they're trying to siege high ground especially.
And not only just, as you mentioned, the double kill that KP had, just looking at the CS as well for Aoi. He's really being held back in this bottom lane because of the pressure that Newbee are being able to put onto him.
I mean, right now at this point, MP has to consider putting more heroes down here to the bottom lane. Like Pudge has to be thinking about, should I go bottom right now to help secure the bottom lane? Can I secure the bottom lane if I move that right down? Because Newbee with the double kill is already in a very advantageous position. So maybe moving the Pudge down isn't going to help deal with any of the pressure. So maybe it's a better choice to stay top to help the Omni. It's a very difficult position for MP to decide should they move SVG to bottom or not.
And we'll see if, as you said, they do continue to have him up here. Or eventually we'll see the decision being made.
He has a TP though, so he might be just waiting for a dive to happen, but that might be too late. Because U9 here, having a man fight with MSS on Omni. Gets the last hit on the neutral.
They're trying to use the degen aura to slow him down to allow SVGs to get a hook, but U9 just a little bit too speedy.
They have to be careful. Kaka is rotating in with the IO. There's 3 heroes in the top lane right now. After securing the bottom lane, Kaka has chosen to go back to the safe lane to relieve some of the pressure from the Omni Pudge. Here comes the stun.
And the follow-through stance, very nice. SVG will get the hook onto Kaka, and MSS actually able to get off the purification in time, repels SVG to allow him move forward with the run, not hurt himself. MSS getting dove upon, will be taken down. SVG might be able to get himself something out of this one, though, as he tries to trap up Faith. Doesn't quite have the damage to finish him off, and still no mana for the hook. And U9 moves in and able to take down SVG at the end of it all as well.
And bottom lane, like, SD cancelled his TP. He was like gonna TP to top, but Bear Rider was making a very aggressive play onto the Luna there. So he decides to stop his TP, tries to help out the Luna. Luna didn't end up going down there, but the kill on top of the Pudge tells MP that there's a ward, there's a high ground ward there on Newbee. Otherwise they wouldn't have gotten the vision there to get that last right click on the Pudge.
And one thing to look at as well is this mid lane where Envy was at the start winning it.
Bottom lane,
catching up here.
The two supports smoked up. They're gonna run into the Bat Rider, but he has backup here.
He does, but at the same time, Kaka has to worry about MSS. They've got the numbers advantage here, MP. KP will try with a lead in lasso onto SVG, but SVG and MSS ready to give Newbee a bit of a rundown.
More backup over.
It's Triple C turning up the neighborhood as well, making the numbers even for the side of Newbee, and now with Faith turning in, he's ready to make it a 4v3 as MP starts to crumble. They've already lost SVG. They should lose MSS as well. He tries to keep himself alive with the purification. It's not enough. Faith with the final club to bring him down, as Newbee just moving just ahead of MP in terms of reacting very nicely to what MP are trying to do with those movements.
And just once again, really good movements from Newbee, like using...
And they know Rose is here as well.
Using their IO plus the Ogre together, like with such effective movement right there from both the supports, securing the lane, and Bear Rider was already having a good time, but putting even more pressure onto the Luna.
And they're not only just going to get a tower, they're going to get themselves even more Rose left behind, and the ward behind the tower from Newbee giving them the intel to know that they can move in for more. It's certainly starting to heat up really heavily here in favor of the side of Newbee. Is it 7-for-1?
Here comes KP. He's gonna try and run down SVG here. He's gonna scout him out, but deciding not to go for it. But everything is going Newbee's way right now. Like, MP is just struggling to get a foothold on the game. Like, Pudge so far has not been able to accomplish anything at all in the early game. A lot of this has to do with, getting the hook at level 1, missing the first blood, missing the hook, and then you don't have Rod in the laning phase, so you can't put pressure with the Omni Knight. All of these small things. Oh, he's gonna run into the IO.
Yeah, he's gonna find. But Kaka tethering across, duking it out, able to keep himself alive. Envy actually popped the ult as well, hoping to be able to commit for that IO kill, but he's not gonna get it. And Newbee themselves, we'll see if they want to tease around jumping back in. They do have to be a little careful with Newbee, because there are 4 members of MP moving across. Envy trying to chase down U9. It's not gonna happen. At the least, MP may be able to find a tower out of this one, but Newbee's still poking and prodding at them from behind. Faith's going to make his way back up on the Ogre as well. And Newbee could certainly try and fight this one. MP have to be careful with this push, and as we can see already, backing away from the tier 1 after the fortification comes out. They know that this is not going to be an easy tower to take, and Envy is already TPing out of that one, not wanting to get caught up in what could be pretty messy for MP on the top lane. And in fact, stayed around a little too long as KP starts to close the gap. The lasso available, he's going to be able to catch out Aoi. Again, the hook from SVG is not going to achieve anything. The repel will be enough, though, to keep Luna alive. But it's proving to be very hard for MP to achieve anything across the map now at this stage.
Yeah, they're just like trying to get farm, and SD was using that, last minute or so, getting his level 6 from bottom lane. So at least he's able to do that, and they didn't give up any kills at the top lane with the lasso being on cooldown. I mean, it was still pretty decent. They moved a lot of Newbee heroes on top, and they didn't lose any heroes. And they were able to get level 6 on the SD. Like, they have to take one step at a time. Every little bit of resource gain is a small victory for MP right now, because they are in a really bad position from the laning phase. Eventually, you want to stack up for the Luna so that he can farm the Ancients. Those are all your comeback resource, as the game progresses. And for Newbee, they just completed drums, so they're not gonna get a super early blink. But Bat Rider is really strong with the IO. Right now with the drums at a really good timing. Drums won. Very good for fighting early with the IO. And Newbee is just gonna look to pressure with the next lasso up in 15 seconds. They're gonna look to push out the bottom lane, look to take a fight after that.
I'll see if they can find something here with this smoke. SVG leading the way, Faith. They dispel the smoke if he comes close enough, and indeed he
They
will.
don't have a
They
stun
spotted
for
him out.
though. They have no stun for him.
I mean, they're relying on Rose to get a disruption, but Faith, he's just on the edge of it
Oh my
all.
god, that was so unfortunate.
SVG, again, thinking about maybe trying for or fishing for a hook, but it's just not coming out from MP, and his movement's just proving to be a little bit awkward here from the side.
And they have the relocate up on Kaka right now, so he's gonna be able to save whoever gets focused by the punch. And this is not looking good for MP right now. Another failed movement right there for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And all the lanes are pushed out, so once the Bear either pushes out the bottom, he's gonna look to try and help his teammates in the mid lane. Well, MP have to be very careful. If they lose another engagement in the mid lane and they lose that tower, the game is gonna get super hard for them. So that's a good sign. Rose finds the deep ward. Gonna be able to remove that vision that's helping Newbee out a lot. They definitely need to take a fight before Newbee tries to get Roshan. It's gonna happen at some point. If they allow Newbee to get an easy uncontested Rosh, the game would be really difficult for them. It is already very difficult for them right now. But that's the next thing Newbee will try to look to do.
But it's very hard for MP to fight around the pit, isn't it? Because they've got the constant threat of being caught in a position where Stone Gaze comes through.
If they land their hooks with
if
the
they
Eclipse,
get the hooks.
yeah, if they get a good hook with the Eclipse, they can win the fight.
Bottom lane SVG's come out, and again, still with this ward. They might not even need it. I mean, SVG has a hook, but the Firefly itself does enough damage. MP is coming across and maybe able to find a kill in return. KP trying to get himself away, back to safety across the tree line. It's not going to happen, so MP will be able to punish KP's play there.
I think they would have probably regretted not using the relocate there.
Well, turning that into a bigger, meatier fight.
I mean, they needed to get out faster. He took too long to kill the punch, and it was not a good trade-off.
No.
Trading his life for support there and giving the Razor almost 500 gold for the killing spree ended. That was definitely not a good trade for KP. I think if they used the relocate there, they got the kill faster and get out. Probably he wouldn't have needed to die. But
oh, that is a big hook as well, dragging the Deucer down behind the tier 1's. Mass TP's coming through, but the relocate save is there from Kaka.
Oh, that was actually really close. If Kaka wasn't there, SCC was there's no way he's gonna get out. He's gonna try for the TP. He gets the timing right.
It's so hard to do. It's just a few ticks of the server that you can actually achieve that upon.
Mid lane, we see Envy here trying to defend and hold the mid tier 1. Running up against 3 heroes there. No fear at all. And U9 and Kaipi just backing off after that. They're still trying to look to, get to their blink on the Bat Rider at some point. Get a pick off and get Roshan. That will be their next immediate objective for Newbee. They want to get a pick off, maybe win a team fight. Roshan. They're still not confident in running into the Roshan right now. As I mentioned, a hook into Eclipse could be very deadly for them. Get caught out. Good hook would mean that MP gets to most likely kill a free hero for nothing. And it's going to be hard for Newbee to take the fight from there. So they still need to be very careful when approaching the Roshan.
Again though, this is another bit of movement from MP that's all being spotted out by Newbee. I know that they're hanging around the edge of the tower, and MP, I realise they're not going to be able to get a catch, so just started moving in, trying to finish off the tier 1 in the mid lane. KP with a very nice rune pickup, has an invis, but at the same time the sentry is down, ready and waiting in the mid lane from MP.
Yep, and MP is pretty strong at this stage with Guardian Angel up, and they have the Dragon Lance completed on the Razor with Phase Boots, and Luna with the Eclipse. Newbee has to be cautious when taking this fight, even though they are sort of technically ahead.
They can see him. KP's got to be very careful how close he comes. SVG's going to try for the hook. It was close. Not close enough.
Well, right now he doesn't have enough mana for 2 spells, so he's gonna either need a bottle. There's no arcane. There's gonna be an arcane in 20 seconds.
He's gonna try and come back in again here. Demonic goes straight down onto him. In fact, KP in a lot of trouble. Kaka keeping him alive though on the IO. They've actually managed to find the kill onto SVG and now moving in for more. Envy lassoed up, dragged back. The bat falling low. KP will finally go down, but Newbee are trying to find the favorable trade. Indeed, they get it with 3 heroes falling on the side of MP. The big ones as well. Both Aoi and Envy losing their lives in that engagement.
Oh my god. That was such a good play by SCC there on the Medusa. Once they led in with the Bat Rider and MP was focusing him, he just ran out with the Stone Gaze and he got 2 hero stone minimum.
It was, as you said, just really nicely done from Newbee. and Kaka's play as well on the IO, just keeping his teammates alive for long enough to allow them to get the job done. You know, at the end of the day, KP may have fallen, but getting that last zone, so setting up for the team to find those very, very high value kills, bringing down both the big cores of MP. And these fights are going to potentially get a lot harder as well, with the kind of the advent of the dual Hurricane Pikes coming out, both of Newbee's cores. It's going to be very hard for Aoi and Envy to kind of find themselves in the center of the fights where they want to be with their ultimates, and of course Razor with his static link. It's just not going to happen, as he's going to get shoved straight back out.
I mean, then again, it comes back to the hook. If they land a good hook, they pull someone out of position, then MP doesn't have to commit into the stone gaze. Then the fight would be much more favorable for them. So it's all about landing the hooks on the Putcher. They have no setup, so it's going to be super, super difficult. You can't really expect the hook to land every time. And here comes the Firefly to try and stop the push and slow it down, try to deny the tower. And
well, they want to fight this Newbee. SVG. Most of the hook isn't going to find it. Envy kind of on the front lines here. It's a good multicast from the Ogre, bringing him down low. Purification is there, but the save is not enough.
They actually have no GA, so I'm not sure why they committed that hard without the GA.
And the question is, if they lose anything more, being shoved into position here, they'll find one. There'll be a hook from SVG trying to save MSS. It's not enough as the right clicks come through from Newbee. As this is starting to really fall apart from MP.
There was definitely some ballsy play there by MP. Going into that fight without Omni Knight's Guardian Angel, that was really, really questionable from them. And Newbee, they basically had everything up. Lasso is a short cooldown. I mean, Stone Gaze is the only like sort of a longer cooldown on their side.
And it's interesting to see as well how they were using the Medusa with the Stone Gaze there. They were both forcing her in with the Hurricane Pikes to get her into position. And this is something that you've got to be worried about as well for MP. Because of these positioning tools, you have to be careful, because this Medusa suddenly is shoved past your front lines and into the crux of your team, where she's going to get off a very nice Stone Gaze. And it's very, very kind of confusing for MP as they have to find a way to fight around it.
All the games today when MP picked Omni Knight, they have like a very, very similar problem. Stuns, because when you pick Omni Knight on the off lane, like, as a core role, then you are most likely replacing a hero like Clockwork, you're replacing a hero like Slardar, Sand King, taking away a lot of control. And when you're not 5-manning successfully with Omni Knight and you're not taking towers, the hero becomes, you know, very limited in terms of what he provides to the team.
And I guess it's something that on paper in the draft you can say it's rectified by the fact you've got a Pudge with the hook to set up.
But it's not reliable.
But yeah, you've got to hit those hooks, and SVG's been having a tough time this game.
I mean, it's not even really entirely his fault. Like, they have no setup, so sometimes when you see Pudge being picked paired with a Rubik, you have a lift into a hook.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Shadow Demon, but that is not a good combo. Exactly, 2 out of 3 times the illusion's in the way. It is a hard game for the Pudge, as you said.
And the other cores are Razor and Luna. None of them have a reliable stun. I mean, Lucent Beam is kind of like a, you know, almost a 1-second stun. Yep, but Pudge is going to struggle.
On Envy, and he has been lassoed here straight up by KP. MSS is going to try and come over the save. Just has his GA available to help him out. Already TP's out from Aoi as he immediately gets himself away from the fight. MSS will be left for dead though. Envy will manage to get himself back. Both MSS and SVG going down. SVG did manage to get the suicide off though at least, so it does just end effectively the 1-for-1 trade.
And they got a tower, so
they'll take that. Yeah, 1-for-1 trade in tower. Okay, we'll do it.
Good trade all in all. And on the other side of the map, Aoi actually got the kill on to Kaka on the IO. So I mean, all in all, I think MP will be really happy about that trade, getting a kill, getting a tower, losing the Omni Knight for the tower, and just, you know, overall creating space for the other heroes to farm the rest of the map.
They were fighting into the Drow that didn't have the defusal at the time, but that's now out on U9 there. So that's something that's going to certainly step up the power level of Newbee another notch in these team fights.
This is a big timing window for Newbee, getting the defusal to deal with the repel. And right now, I was already talking about how limited the Omni Knight is, or like how much the limitations that he's facing this game, because they're not able to 5-ban since they are in a bad spot. And right now with the diffuser, it's going to further limit what he's going to be able to provide in the team fights.
Alright, so we'll see how this one again goes down. Rose.
Oh. That was actually what happened.
There we go. Thank you very much to the replay team there, able to show us SVG's perspective on that first Dire kill. That last team fight. But still 15 for 5.
He needs to land maybe another 5 of those.
On top lane, Envy. Let's get him out of here. Kaka, well, he's waiting there with his balls. Well, Kaka, oh my goodness, it's a freebie. And Kaka, well, they will get the IO in return, but not the trade you want to be making. Envy for the Kaka IO. Well, okay, according to the position they're in, it's a trade we're taking. You can have Envy, we'll take your IO, it gives us better gold.
I have to say, good news for MP, they're starting to land their hooks.
SVG, he's ready now. He's used up all the bad ones, he's only got the good ones left.
You were right about it. You need to, miss your hooks at the start of the game. Get all of that out of your system.
You're never going to hit all your hooks, so to balance off the kind of the hit percent, you have to master what SVG has, and he's learned how to use the bad ones in the first bit of the game. Get them out of the way, and now he's going to start hitting some absolute crackers.
Unfortunately, the first few hooks he missed was really, really costly. More costly than getting the support kills right now.
But he's going to hit an amazing hook, and then I'm going to ask you, would you rather miss that hook and hit an earlier one? And you'll be like, well, Owen, you know what, you're correct.
I'll wait for that hook to happen. I'll wait for that.
And I think MP's waiting for that hook to happen as well. This is, where SVG's going to need to pull out the big guns. These kind of pushes coming in from Newbee. They're grouped up on the mid lane. They'll take the tier 2 down. More money into SCCC's bank as he sits on 14,000 net worth. A clear 5k ahead of Aui's farm on the Luna at this stage. And 4.6k in the bank. What's he actually going to go for? He's picked up a Hyperstone. Does he finish off the Manta, or is he going to do something with that first? Is he even going to get just the Mjolnir out on this Reducer, do you think?
Relocate bottom lane. Lasso.
That's a big one as well. Aoi on his own and down. So Luna getting caught very far away from the base as well. Aoi was well and truly out on his own. I think the pings come out there. I think he was attempting to try and get to the shop to... No, he's already got TP picked up. I don't know if he just picked them up when he died, but a very awkward position there.
I'm thinking about a farming Hyperstone.
Mm-hmm.
What's the player's name that always does it? What's his name again? The guy who plays anti-mage and he does like a casual farming Hyperstone.
Oh, what's his name? The Madman.
Yeah, the mad scientist.
The mad... how can I forget? No, you put me on there. Who is it? Oh, hello.
CTY.
CTY! That's it! Whatever happens at eHome CTY. That guy was a legend.
See, yep, it's actually a casual farming Hyperstone and he's going to finish up his Manta.
Okay.
It speeds up your farm a lot, so I can see the reasoning behind it. I can understand it. The other possible reasons would be maybe you're really uncertain whether you want to get an AC or a Mjolnir. So you're keeping your options open. And he has ultimate orb next, so it's gonna tell us that he is gonna get a Skadi. So the Hyperstone is still
casual Hyperstone.
Just there, Just
CTY style.
It's actually a really good way of speeding up your farm. Like he gets it on AM over the Vlads. Most people would just get the Vlads, but he gets a Hyperstone. It's just something interesting. Like every player has a different way of playing anti-mage. And in this case, it's the Medusa that's using the casual farming Hyperstone. This is the first for me and Kaipi. Most likely gonna get a pick off here onto Mr. Envy.
Kaipi? Bring back memories there, Winter. They get the jump in indeed back, but the lasso, Envy trying to make his way back, maybe hoping for some sort of neutral deny. It's not gonna happen. Kaipi. I was gonna say, Kaipi are back? Bringing down Envy? They did that a few patches ago. 18-7. Newbee still with a pretty firm grip on this game. It's looking to be a much cleaner performance from them in game 1 for sure from Newbee, and now sitting at nearly over 15,000 net worth advantage. This is looking pretty hard for MP to pull back.
High ground defense, land amazing hooks.
And amazing hooks. U9, here's an amazing hook for you, Winter. And there we go. Oh, that was, it was nearly an amazing. That was so close.
I thought you said all the bad hooks were out of the system.
If that was the cat set with the tail, does it have a tail? You would have caught him. Oh, it's just ears. I can't remember.
Here comes KP. Not Kaipi.
Kaipi.
Oh, they drop a scanner, so they're gonna know that Newbee is around the vicinity. But they're still gonna try to fight here.
SVG.
Ooh. Has he gotten all the missed hooks out of the system? Can he land this hook?
He's holding on to it.
Oh, he has no vision there. Like,
and he's nearly got the. He almost wants to get the ether lens out. It's going to make it a little easier to hit these hooks, especially on the edge of smokes and such. SVG, oh, he would have got that as well, but KP had already blinked out. Blink getting KP into a good position and now allowing Newbee to chase down Aoi, just taking huge punches. They have to use the GA to keep Aoi alive. Just as Triple C there with the chase down. Oh, SVG tries again. He's not going to hit it. He will be able to get the bat right here, but looks a bit not keeping alive. That's not enough. They have lost the bat, but they've lost Aoi on the side of MP. MV, MSS trying to make their way back to base, but with the Hurricane Pikes, they're forcing forward. Newbee chasing down for more. Yunan just casually punching down at them underneath the tier 4s. MSS is trying to turn back into this one, but they'll turn back into him. Purification will not save this Omni Knight. Rose on his way back to base. A quick Hurricane Pike and the right clicks from SCCC, bringing him down. And with 4 out on MP, the base looking to be in a lot of danger as Newbee take the tier 3 bottom and the racks, and almost certainly more at this stage of the game. 22-8. It's been a rough game 2 for MP, and it's been a very impressive display from Newbee.
Yeah, it certainly was. Every bit of movement in the early game, the Io and the Ogre was spot on. And the first rotation as well. I think that was the most important rotation of Kaka this game, where he got the double kill. The first blood.
Yeah, that first bit of play down bottom was absolutely pretty spectacular.
The creeps pushing into the tower, and that was what allowed them to actually make that dive. Like 2 waves on the tower.
Oh, SVG. Oh, the Hurricane Pike juke. And now Envy, he's been tied up. MP, they just really didn't hit it off this game. The draft and execution from Newbee, pretty much on the level we'd expect from these guys.
They lost all their Omni Knight games today. MP.
The Omni Curse. And there we have it. GG is called. They're tabbing out. They've had enough. MP and Newbee will take this last series of the day here at Groupie 2-0. And I mean, overall, you know, it's been an up and down adventure for both teams. Are you excited to see more of both of these? And more specifically, obviously, our winners here, Newbee. How do you feel that they're going to fare going into the main competition?
I mean, I'm going to be excited to see Newbee, but 2 days break, I think there's a lot of changes that can be made in a team like you know,